it's something I'm having to get over in terms of this book writing process and like being unapologetic about being an internet guru and being like a productivity guru or whatever.
Right.
Because I think historically I've been good at repackaging insights from other people, and I feel that I don't have any original ideas at all. And I feel like
Okay.
everything I do is just sort of taken from someone else with my own like occasional spin applied to it.
Right.
But speaking to the people who are kind of helping me out on the book front, this is like a suboptimal way of thinking now, because I do have quote original insights about the way that I live my life, and it's not entirely based on kind of what other people have said. And it's
Yeah.
just recognizing that okay, there is actually a layer of this is what I think, and this and these are my kind of firm beliefs.
Mm.
Whereas it's easy to hide behind, hey, this is what Cal Newport said.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So now, as I'm working with people to help craft the book proposal and the book and stuff, it's been a constant battle to be more okay with being with having more conviction about things, and
Mm.
actually recognizing that my opinion is valid. uh, I was saying this to my writing coach this week. We were talking about this, and I was thinking, and he was like, "Why do you feel like your opinion isn't valid?" I was like, "Well, because I'm writing a book about productivity, and like, if Elon Musk were to write a book about productivity, his opinion would be valid. Like, I am not Elon Musk, therefore my opinion on productivity is not valid."
Okay.
He was like, I think we should unpack that a little bit. And yeah, I think for me, the sort of alleged self-awareness and bordering on imposter syndrome, bordering on kind of wanting to not be seen as like a brash American with like huge conviction, like tweeting about stuff like
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
vibes. Not
Yeah.
wanting
Yeah.
to be seen in that way because that feels not me. I think I probably take that too far when it comes to things like the book. I
Mm.
think I do an okay job of it on the YouTube channel because I'm comfortable enough in the form of YouTube videos to know that what I say has value. Whereas when
Yeah.
it comes to writing a book or writing blog posts, which are two things that I'm less used to,
Okay.
yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah. I guess they are different mediums. Yeah. I think partly why I was surprised was like I was kind of thinking, look, I'd understand this if it was coming from if this was the first time someone has put themselves out there on the internet and they're kind of shy about it or
yeah,
insecure about it, whatever, and so they do that. Also, I did a thing or whatever to try and announce it. But I just thought it was weird coming from you because you've obviously been doing this a while. But you're saying that writing a blog post doesn't feel at all like making a YouTube video.
yes. Making a YouTube video, I made a YouTube video about my goals for 2021. I didn't need to hedge anything on there.
Ah, okay.
Whereas, yeah, the medium of blog post I think was where the because it was just a bit different for me. Like I don't write 2,000 word blog posts about myself. It's just not a thing.
Okay. Okay.
So that made it feel like more of a hey, this is pushing the boat out rather than it being like a standard part of my life.
Hmm. Did it feel more like revealing than making a YouTube video about the same topic?
It did in a way. It did because seeing stuff on paper is like very different to just sort of having it's like making a video about a topic that isn't like scripted, like my goals one like wasn't scripted.
Yeah.
Making a video about that just kind of feels like chatting to a friend. It feels
Yeah.
like not a big deal in the slightest.
Yeah.
Whereas putting it down on paper and publishing it as a blog post on a website feels more permanent, more legit, more like okay, I actually have to think about this rather
Yeah.
than I can just kind of say whatever the hell I want.
Mm.
So like I have no qualms about saying stuff on this podcast, but if I were to write those things down, I'd have to think harder about them
Yeah. Well, yeah. For
because
sure. Yeah.
I would need and also just the medium of writing requires ideas to be more well thought out than the medium of podcast or the medium of video.
I think there's a perception that the medium of writing requires ideas to be like more well thought out. But I mean, certainly there are plenty of people who do more stream of conscious style blogging, journaling, whatever. I don't think it has to be that way. But yeah, I do think there is something more like if you're, like we're talking on the podcast or whatever. There's an understanding that the words are just like coming out of our mouths. We're not really thinking too much about this. But
Mm.
I think when you decide to write something, unless explicitly you're like, look, this is a stream of consciousness thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't edit this, blah blah blah. And I know some people who do that, and it's pretty interesting. Unless you're actually doing that, then you are deliberately choosing all the words that you've said, and there is something revealing about every choice that you've made for every one of those words in that piece. You know,
Exactly.
your soul is sort of is in there basically.
Like it's very easy for me to say on a YouTube video, "Hey guys, I'm trying to find a wife this year. Lol, I'm going to call it my wife quest." But putting that
Yeah,
down on paper,
yeah,
this year
yeah,
I have decided to embark on the wife quest.
yeah. This dude sat at his
Okay.
desk
Yeah.
and wrote the words "wife quest." Yeah, it's different. It's different for sure.